Hi everyone. So I'm not sure if anyone is feeling grumpy today or agitated, or that ridiculous things are making you crawl up the walls. I kind of am, but also you can tell by my questionable outfit that I'm waiting for the first day of my moon at the new moon. So I'm kind of, a bit ragged. Now, something that I'm blaming this on more than my natural bodily cycles is the new moon in the sign of Libra today. Now, this particular new moon is charged with a bunch of really harsh oppositions, which I spoke about in my last video. Now, this kind of relational opposition we need to be really aware of within ourselves this weekend, especially around people that we love, people that we care about. Because on the new moon, when the sun and the moon together and there is the least light in the sky, we are just naturally more introspective, like we have to turn the light within. We don't have a guiding light, we don't have a guiding force, we don't have a clear exterior direction. It has to be pointed within. So naturally, when we look within, at first, definitely, we're more vulnerable, we're more sensitive, we're more soft, because it's a personal process. So when there's a lot of conflict happening around us, harsh oppositions, and we're in this soft, tender, seeking place, the conflict can feel even more intense, even more prolonged. Like it really grates on our nervous system, grates on our hearts, grates on our bodies. The main opposition that I think that most people are feeling, I've got a bunch of messages this morning from friends who've said they've just woken up and they're being like a raging bitch, or they're super angry at their boyfriend because he woke up 5 minutes after them. Mad things, totally mad things, which are totally justified at a Libra highly opposition-fueled new moon. Now, I think that the opposition which is causing the most drama is the sun and the moon conjunct in Libra. Fine, 23 degrees, absolutely no problem there. But opposite Mars. And this is like being poked, almost feeling a bit soft, hermetic, kind of in like a cone-like shape where you're like, oh God, please don't bother me, I can't deal with this. But you're just being poked from outside, from every angle, from your friends, from your lover, from your family. And you just think, oh my God, I can't, I don't know how to show up for this. I was thinking about this, and the best way to describe how these oppositions show up and how we can identify them is through pictures. So the two tarot cards which are the most directly linked to the sign of Libra and to this kind of mental agitation and to mental conflict is the Five of Swords, which is a minor arcana, and Justice, which is a major arcana. Now, the Five of Swords, I'm just going to briefly talk about because this is kind of the shadow side of this new moon over the weekend. Five of Swords is the card of conflict, and it's the card of mental conflict. Swords rule air, they rule projection, limitations, the mental state, how we share, but also how we open up. So the lower mind and the higher mind at the same time. It depends which side of the coin that we choose. Now, fives in numerology, specifically in the tarot numerology, which I talk about a lot actually, is this number of discomfort. 4 is structure and like a civilization. It's where things are compact and safe and a bit boring. If there is an issue with a 4, the 4 has to break. It has to fragment in order to move into 6, which is harmony. 5 is the point of discomfort. It's the point of conflict. 5 is something which is in motion. So the Five of Swords is that we are this weekend in this mental agitation, in this kind of air sign discomfort. And because we are humans and we've got so many layers of conditioning, often when we feel mental discomfort, we project it on our environment. We project it on like the loud neighbour. We project it on the slow person in front of us at the supermarket. We project it on our partner who is not giving us enough attention, or our friend who doesn't think the same thing as us, and we just project outwards. The Five of Swords is the definition of being in this conflict-ridden place where you feel like everything outside of you is just completely driving you up the wall. And the only way to bring the kind of light aspect into this difficult astrological weekend, really, is the major arcana, the higher purpose, the higher power of justice. Now, justice is the balance and the harmonization of duality. You can see that she has the sword, much like the Five of Swords, so she's cutting through limitation, but she has the scales. So she is seeking and creating balance of duality, but through one thing. What does the card of justice have, which the Five of Swords doesn't, is height. She has perspective. She is above. You can see that there, the Five of Swords, they're on the ground, in battle, in the mind, in the lower mind, stuck in that repetitive loop. Justice, she is raised, she is above, so she can see the wood for the trees. The gift this new moon, the gift this weekend, is the eagle medicine. If we can bring the gift, potential gift of higher perspective, whatever glues you or prods you or provokes you, you just soar above. You just soar above. And if you're 100 foot above anything, you see it for what it is. And the size of it is radically smaller. So the kind of message, the kind of direction I think that we're being called into this weekend is just to fly high. Fly above. And some things are still big if you look at them from above, but most things are much, much, much smaller. Hope you guys have a fantastic new moon with ideally not much duality, or at least lots of perspective. Send in love.